Whether or not public transit is a good investment or a bad investment, it is a very, very, very good investment. The arc of global market trends bend towards mass transit. When gas prices are $6 a gallon, people are going to be craving mass transit. And it's going to give urban areas, Buffalo in particular, an incredible competitive advantage over suburban communities that don't have mass transit, and it's going to be an amenity that increases property values, increases the desirability of neighborhoods, the demand for those neighborhoods. So long-term, density will follow the infrastructure that allows the density to exist. So we'll have more vibrant neighborhoods by virtue of us having a public transit system where people can opt out of an automobile-dependent lifestyle and can live a lifestyle that's less costly, and they can shed all of those expenses. So in economic terms and in environmental terms, it's a great idea. In terms of also the cost of the projects, you mentioned the commuter rail proposals that I've made. Well, right now, the most expensive part of a transportation system is the purchasing of rights of way and the construction of the actual infrastructure, the construction of the railroads. Well, we have railroads that already exist. The cheap part of this plan is putting up stations, simply platforms where people can get on and off trains, where they can stop, and where we have functional transit-oriented centers in residential neighborhoods. That's the cheap part. The expensive part is the railroads, which already exist. So I'm saying let's use these railroads, or in the places where we've already removed railroads, the rights of way already exist. So let's purchase those rights of way and start planning over a number of years, of course, over the course of, let's say, 10 years, and let's build a public transit system that allows people to have an automobile-independent lifestyle where they're not paying monthly car payments and loan repayments and debt service costs and gasoline and insurance. And I think a lot of people, particularly younger people, would choose to live that lifestyle and really crave a more vibrant, more urban style of living. And I think that's a direction we need to go. Right now, one particular suburb is narrowly interested in their own particular suburb. Right? But that doesn't help the aggregate, that doesn't help the whole, that doesn't mean we can all move forward together, and we still have these economic disequilibriums, if you will, like you just mentioned, with these commuting times. So my strategy is let's create the jobs precisely where they're needed most. Right? For instance, Yahoo went to Niagara County. Well, first of all, we were lucky enough to get Yahoo because we didn't approach Yahoo, they approached us. And first of all, I already said that waiting for companies to approach us is just shamefully unacceptable and isn't aggressive enough. But we could have utilized that investment or leveraged that private sector investment far more effectively if we built that facility where the jobs are needed most. And I think that would have had a much more catalytic effect in terms of economic development, in terms of reducing the second highest concentration of poverty in the country, and in terms of rebuilding our neighborhoods that have long suffered from massive disinvestment. Let me pledge that I'm never ever going to engage in Bass Pro style economic development strategies. Retail is not an industry that you have to cultivate. It's a secondary industry that stems from other wealth generating activity. So you're absolutely right, we need to do economic development much differently, and frankly, I think that we need to get away from firm-specific property tax abatements and subsidized lending capital, just because I don't think they're very effective. I think we need to go into the direction of having a venture capital fund that the city can use to rapidly capitalize small startups that are endogenous to Buffalo, that Buffalonian owned and operated small startups and high growth industries. We should rapidly capitalize, and we should support those industries through a venture capital fund because it has the ability to make more money in the long term for the city and to create jobs more catalytically right now. So I think that's a new model that we should be leading the country and at the forefront of this approach to economic development because we need it so badly.